Realize this is going to be a momentum video. I don't have any sort of plan, don't really have any sort of theme yet, but I'm sure I will as I talk a bit more and think of something. I just feel like I should post something because all of you have been helping. We got me up to 500 subscribers and I want to maintain the momentum. So let's talk about Magic. Right, so this is box number 3. The way I store my decks, I have 4 of these boxes, long boxes, with 5 commander decks each. This one, deck number 3. So this is a deck that's in construction. This is that Sheldon Maneri deck that I've been working on. Probably finish it this month. I sold a box of Commander Masters that'll give me the funds I need to buy the last remaining pieces so I can put that together and see how it plays. This is Omnath. This is Nekusar. He's so fucking fun. Nelly Darnis, my party deck. And 4th position, we'll draw through this alphabetical order. So I've got 3 more of these, 4 commander decks. 4 of the ones I play in Prague, my Prague decks. To give you a recap on that, so a Prague deck is a deck that I can play here regularly with a group of lads that I meet with almost weekly. Not quite, you know, I was on a holiday, so that kind of put a damper on that. And the decks can't be too asshole-ish. Somebody posted that from my description, it sounded like the guys that play with, what they want to do is have minimal interruption to their game plan and go to some grand finale finish. And I have to admit, he's onto something. That's pretty accurate. When I when I have played with combo decks, Nekusar, he's on the verge of being combo. I mean, he tells you what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw him out there, or him, or one of the other effects that does this kind of thing, and make everybody draw extra cards, and when they draw cards, they take damage. That's the idea of the deck. Works pretty good. 2 ways to build it. One way, the way I had it initially, is the classic way, where you have a bunch of things like Howling Mine, Kami of the Pale Moon, things that make everybody draw extra cards all the time. And I found out that's really a bad idea. That does not work. Because what happens is your friends figure out, oh, if we just keep his damage engine off the battlefield, then we get free cards. And that's what they do. They focus on taking off your damage engines. Nekusar, Scrawling Crawler, Ob Nixilis, the one that makes them take damage to run cards. So the way I built this one is run one of these guys out when they're ready and I can protect them, and then when at a time I choose, I control, I will have us start drawing extra cards with effects like, and of course I can't find one now, there we go, Time Spiral. So everybody shuffles a hand graveyard library together, draw 70 cards, this gets exiled, and I get to untap 6 lands. Sweet. Teferi's Puzzle Box. So this is the only continuous draw effect that I have in the deck. But it's not really drawing, it's just, you get to look at different cards, but because it says draw, Nekusar is going to hurt you. Teferi's Puzzle Box. 4 mana. During everybody's draw phase, they count the number of cards in their hand, put those on the bottom, and then draw that number of cards. So they're not getting any extra cards, they're just seeing different cards, but they're drawing them, so Nekusar is like, I'm going to punch you in the face 5 or 6 times. Or how many cards do you have? 7? Oh, I'm going to punch you 7 times. How do you like that? Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, whenever an opponent draws a card, deals 1 damage to that player. So this, if you look at the deck list, and you look at the build, and if you've played against a build something like this, you know it can be quite powerful. It can really work. But it's also not terribly hard to disrupt. So that's why we've got things like Alabar's Carpet to defend myself against token hordes. 5 mana tap it, prevent all damage to me done by attacking non-flying creatures. So it's kind of combo in that I'm not planning to use the attack step at all. I'm not planning to go on the attack with any of my creatures. Now, if somebody's open, they've got nothing, yeah, I'll punch him in the head with Nexar. Oh, look, you got 2 points of commander damage. Woohoo. I'm so close. Now, just hit you for another 19. Another 10 times. But the genie, he builds these decks where he will put himself in a very strong, unassailable almost position, and like his Mrs. Bumblefuck deck. So he'll play Approach of the Second Sun in a deck that does have all these things that make you draw extra cards. And so you've only got a couple turns to deal with it. I still say that's a 1-card, 2-card combo, because even if you counter it, it goes in the graveyard, and all he has to do is play something, and the deck is blue, green, white, so it's not hard to get something out of the graveyard, a spell, and you've already cast it once, so if it goes to the graveyard because somebody counters it, it actually puts you in an easier position, because all you have to do is do something like Snapcaster Mage or Archaeomancer, return it to your hand, and then bang, you do it again, and as long as you cast it, you win the game. And there's very few counter spells that will stop that kind of trigger. We've talked about this a bit in the video I made a few days ago. So in Prague, if I play combo, like when I played my 2-card combo with Mephitos Vampire and Triskelion, they really didn't like that. Not at all. When I played my 2-card combo with Maha, Its Feathers Laugh, and Elesh Norn, they didn't like that either. Probably because I got both of them out in together off of a Defense of the Heart. But when I did the 3-card combo, the instant win, so Elesh Norn and Haha, Triskelion and Mephitos Vampire, they only kill all the creatures. They only deal with the creatures. I still have to win the game by beating my opponents up. If I do Archmage Athun, Vault of the Archangel, and Triskelion, activate Vault of the Archangel, all my creatures with Death Touch and Lifelink, take a counter off Triskelion, do opponent damage to somebody, it has Lifelink. Archangel Athun says, hey, you've got Lifelink, here, have another counter. So it becomes a Gatling gun. And that 3-card combo they really didn't seem to mind. I mean, they didn't even complain. They just sat there and looked at it, and I explained how it works, and they're like, oh, okay, next game. Probably because it came out early in the game, and also because it finished the game. There was no time for any big swings. There was no mass destruction of the creatures. And there's a few turns in, when right at the time when we've finished building our initial position and we're getting ready to start popping off, bang, done, game's over. So my decks for Prague can't be too mean, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that the games are slower paced, that the lads do want a bigger game. They do want time to build up to this grand finish, and the fact that they don't want any real interruptions to their plan, well, I don't like them either. I like to think that I accept them more. I probably don't. I probably get just as irritated as anybody else. I've got my army ready. Damnation. No, motherfucker, now I have to build up my army again. But in Ostruzhna, so, like I was saying, I've got 4 of these long boxes, 5 Prague decks each, 5 EDH decks per, so that's 20. I've got a smaller long box with my Ostruzhna decks, and those decks, those are rough. And I've seen some people intimate that they really aren't that bad. They're not, they play against worse. And I think you play against worse? That sucks. I would hate to play against worse than what I've got going on here. And I only have these because I need to keep up with the Lads Nostruzna. That since we don't play that much, we don't meet that much together, the games are a lot rougher, faster, combo-rific. It looks like there's a little divot there. It's probably just the sleeve. I hope it's just the sleeve. And since we don't meet up that much, there's more time for people to forget what happened in the last game. There's more time for people. If you meet every week, you start to remember what people are doing. You start to remember their decks. If you only meet once a quarter, you can forget a little bit of what some of their decks might do. Especially if, well, Austrasian have got 3 decks, so those can be memorized. Anyway, I just wanted to post something, have a bit of a look at my cards. I haven't really touched my cards since I came back from holiday. It feels good to look at them again. Memory jar. I really like that. I've had it in play, and then I think I won the game before I could flip it over. And I was like, oh shit, I want to see Tolari Academy.